something wrong. Anyways, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohammed Al-Khayyab, and in this presentation, we're going to talk about what you need to know in order to go to Dubai and visit it. And we belong to a company called Al Habtoul Real Estate Firm, which has been in the market since 2005. And our goal is to get visitors to come visit Dubai, and that way we can increase the economy. And I'll be covering the culture of Dubai, the language, and the religions. And with me today, I have Brandon Gilbu, who's going to talk about the location. Jasmine Cervantes, who's going to talk about the legal aspects of the location. Kevin Moniz, who's going to talk about the construction. Edward Gilbert's going to talk about the infrastructure. And Mickey Benfield, who's going to talk about the tourism. Moving on to my next point. My name is Mohammed Al-Khayyab, and I'm the founder of Al Habtoul Real Estate, which has been in the market since 2005. Dubai is a modern, I'll be talking about the culture of Dubai, the religion, and the language. Dubai is a modern city that welcomes visitors from all around the world. This city is divided into two parts: the Bull of Dubai, which is the south of Dubai and embraces the traditional culture, and the Dira, which is in the north and embraces the busy and bustling culture of Dubai. The culture is a cosmopolitan one, which includes foreign populations such as Baluchis, Persians, Indians, and according to Next City, 96% of the population of Dubai are foreign. According to Dubai's official website, culture is rooted in Islamic traditions, which forms the UAE nation's lifestyle. It is highly important that when visitors visit Dubai, they respect and behave. And since the minority group of people in Dubai are very protective over their culture and traditions. Emirati's traditional clothing are: the men wear the dishkasha, which is a long white shirt dress with the batra on top of your head. It comes in white and red. And the aqal, which is a thick rope that is worn to keep the batra in its place. And the women wear the abaya, which is a long cloak, and hijab, that is a scarf covering their face and hair. And courtesy and hospitality is an important virtue in the Arab world, as visitors will get the warm welcomes and friendliness of the locals, according to National Geographic. Dubai is the most liberal places in the Middle East, and however, Islam is the official religion, and there is no discrimination on other religions. Also, Arabic is the first language in Dubai, and English finds common ground with most people, according to National Geographic, since it has 96% of its population foreign. I talked about the religion, the culture, the religion, and the language, and now I'll pass it down to Brandon, who's going to talk about the location of Dubai.
Hello everyone, as Mohammed said, my name is Brennan, and I'll be talking to you about the location of Dubai and the benefits of locating there, the different areas you can live in, and I'll give you some cost comparisons of like houses in those different areas. So some of the benefits of locating in Dubai is there's tons of things to do. There's polo clubs, there's golf clubs, and there's tons of beaches everywhere and like exotic marinas and things like that. As well as business opportunities, there's lots of oil over there. Shell has one of its large offices there, so that's where a lot of the American oil companies go. And according to economic charts on the cost of living website in Dubai, it's a very, very wealthy area. As you can tell from the video, there's lots of money there. And it's just a very diverse culture, so you'll get a lot of different things there, sort of like here at St. Different areas to live in Dubai. There's several areas, like the main areas that people choose to live in. There's Jumeirah 1, the Palm Marina residences, and the Arabian ranches. These different areas offer a wide variety of living arrangements. There's like apartments and acres of homes on the Arabian ranches and things like that. So at Jumeirah 1, it's a very popular place for the business families to live that work at the Shell office because it's really close to the downtown area and it's a really short drive to the office. and it's not really cheap to live there, and there's not a lot of space to live, so there's a lot of apartment living. And for a small 2-bedroom apartment, you pay rent for about $42,000 a year. So it's pretty steep. The Palm Marina residences is a little bit further from the office, but this is where a lot of the people that actually live there, they live here on the Palm Marina. It's one of the man-made islands that you've seen or heard about online. So it's sort of like, people call it like the 8th wonder of the world. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty convenient because there's lots of shops and things like on the actual island and restaurants. So you don't really have to like leave your community unless you really just want to go to downtown Dubai. There's like everything you need is right there. As well as a large marina with a lot of exotic yachts. If you're that kind of guy with a big boat, you can live there and keep your boat there. So if you want to live there, if you want to like have a big, extravagant 4-bedroom villa, it costs you about $3.5 million. So pretty steep again. The Arabian Ranches, these are located slightly outside of town. They're very family oriented. So a lot of like, still the Shell families will live here if they have like large families with kids and everything. But they have great schools out here, like private schools for the American kids who don't really speak Arabic. They have a lot of private schools out here. And like I said about the golf clubs and the polo clubs and things like that, those are all really located out here. It's about a 30-minute drive from downtown, so it's not that bad, if you want to commute. But for a good-sized house, like a 2-bedroom villa out on several acres, it'll cost you about $555,000. So today I talked to you about the location in Dubai and the benefits of locating there, some different areas you can live in, and the cost comparison to those areas. Thank you for listening, and now I'll pass it to Jasmine, who's going to talk to you about some laws and regulations in Dubai.
Hello, I'm Jasmine, and I am the law administrator for our real estate company. And like Brendan said, I'm actually talking about the law aspects of Dubai. So today I will be I'll be going over the laws of Dubai, how they differ from here, the regulations of Dubai, and what they expect out of their citizens, and also I'll talk about the taxes and how it can be beneficial to live there on a tax base. So my first point, laws. Imported goods like pornography and imported pork are illegal. If you're caught with those, you can go to jail for it. The drinking age is 18, and you can only be served at hotels if you're 21. You need 2 licenses to drink. You need a license to drink in public and a license to drink at home. So they do obstacles to drink, and it's actually, even if you do have all those, it's still not highly thought of. And they also have a really, really big no tolerance for drugs. If you're caught trafficking or distributing, you can get up to the death penalty with that. So they take that really seriously. And also other laws that are a little interesting are that e-cigs are illegal. So if you go into customs and you have your e-cig, they're going to confiscate it. PDA, like a kiss on the cheek, hugging, or grabbing, there's been many cases where people have gone to jail because of it. And also offensive behavior, just like cussing a lot, being rude, shoving people, you can go to jail for that as well. And so now moving on to my next point, regulations. Like Mohammed stated earlier, he went over the clothing. There are regulations on clothing, why they wear that. Women cannot wear anything that shows their stomach, shoulders, or back, and they can't wear anything above the kneeling or anything that's too tight or stiff. Men have a little more freedom. They can wear anything that a t-shirt covers and the decently prepared shorts covers, so men have the more freedom than women do clothing-wise, but still really free. And there's also another regulation during the time of Ramadan, since it is mainly Muslim community. You cannot smoke, drink, or eat in public while the sun is up during the time of Ramadan. And if you do, you'll get a long lecture from cops and possibly a fine because of it. So they do take Ramadan seriously, and it will offend people if you do that sometimes. And lastly, photography. There's regulation on photography. If I take a picture of somebody in Dubai without their permission, I could go to jail for it because I didn't get the okay. And And another thing that they have regulations on with photography is that you can't take pictures of certain government buildings. To prevent that, you could just ask the nearest guard and ask if it's all right to take a picture, or you can ask the nearby citizens. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to tell you. And this is one of the regulation signs that we have in the film. Okay. So lastly, taxes. Dubai is mainly a tax-free country. It's mainly funded by the oil companies. And this is all according to the livingindubai.org. The things that they do have taxes on, though, is alcohol, which is a 30% tax. And that's why a lot of people do buy alcohol illegally in Dubai. And another thing that has taxes on is a 5% tax on water and electricity, and a 10% tax on hotel stays and restaurant bills. And we even say on the receipt as well, like a 10% tax on X. So yeah, they mainly free tax country, which is pretty good. So today I talked about the laws of Dubai and how PDA and offensive behavior you can go to jail for that. And I also talked about the regulations in Dubai and how you might want to wear the right clothing there so you don't offend anybody. And lastly, I talked about the taxes and how it's mainly a free tax country and that alcohol has way tax prices. So I'll move this on to Kevin, who will talk about the construction of Dubai.
Hello everyone. As Jasmine stated, I'm going to be talking about the construction of Dubai. My name is Kevin. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 3 main points: how Dubai started, the construction of the Burj Dubai, and building in Dubai now. So, how Dubai started, actually, it began with, there used to be a very famous spot for pearl harvesting, and actually in 1929, they figured out a method to which pearls could be fake, and so they also found areas in America that were closer to the actual facility that they would actually like harvest the pearls. So they kind of crashed in 1929. In 1966, oil was discovered in Dubai, and this actually was kind of the starting point of where Dubai was going to head to, or what it was going to be in the future, and where people really wanted to go. And so in 1970 was actually the beginning. That's when infrastructure really started. And moving into 1973, Dubai joins the UAE along with other Emirates. And one of the main things that I felt would be necessary to talk about, especially with civil engineering, is the construction of the Burj Dubai Tower. This is a tower which was a $20 billion project along with other groupings of establishments around it. It also required special equipment, special engineers to actually build this. This is the first kind of skyscraper of its kind, especially being the largest in the world. It posed some problems that were actually going to need to be figured out as you're going through the process of building this. One of them being 3 cranes were actually built on the inside of the 3 different towers. And whenever the towers actually finished to complete, they had to actually use a hydraulic lift to hoist it up as well as bring it down once they would take out sections of it once it was finally finished. And so that was one of the things that was kind of interesting, especially with civil engineering, knowing that you have to deal with these problems, and they actually ended up building something inside of the building rather than having to do it outside. So, building in Dubai now, they're creating a new phase of buildings and different establishments. The cost for land of these next phases is expected to be between 6 and 25 million, and the cost for this whole year, 2015 coming up, is expected to be 600 million in cost of building materials, building and labor. The whole cost for 2015 should be around 600 million. And currently, there is a high amount of real estate available. As you can see, Dubai is growing, and with the Burj Dubai being made, that kind of set also for investors who are weary on going into the company, or going into Dubai and actually starting somewhere, that kind of set it off to make sure that this is going to be a place of revenue and actually making money. So today I covered how Dubai was started, the construction of Dubai, and building in Dubai now. And I'll pass it off to Edward.
Hi there. My name is Edward Gilbert, and I'm the head infrastructure researcher at our small insurance, our small company. And the great thing about Dubai is, first of all, it's in a really great position if you want to do any sort of trade. It's the link pretty much between the West and the East, especially the West and the Middle East. A lot of things that go to the Middle East go through Dubai. And it has over 8 million business tourists per year, so there's a lot of conferences and a lot of like business expos that go on in Dubai. And it has an excellent travel and transport network due to all of these people that show up to their country every year. Logistics-wise, it is the 3rd largest re-export hub in the world, which means things are getting imported to Dubai and then immediately exported again for various reasons. And their port is one of the top 10 busiest ports in the world. And their airport is soon to be, upon completion, the largest airport in the world. And I believe it deals with 60,000 tons of product each year. And then events and exhibitions. It's one of the busiest tourist destinations in the Middle East, and it's the busiest business tourist destination in the Middle East. So therefore, Dubai holds a lot of leading industry events and exhibitions each year. And it holds enough of those that there's actually, the hotel market in Dubai is huge, just to deal with all of these people that travel to Dubai for business and leisure activities. And so I went over the events and exhibitions and the infrastructure and excuse me, about Dubai. And I'll hand it off to Mickey, who will talk about the funtivities and things to do in Dubai.
Thank you, Edward. Like Edward said, my name is Mickey, and I will be covering what you will do with your visiting here to see if it's a good fit for you and your family. I'll be covering funtivities, what you can do in the areas around, where to go, and how much this would cost, about relatively on estimation from like a family of 2 adults and 2 children, age 9 and 10. First off, for funtivities. So there's a lot to do in Dubai. There's tons of things you can do in the city, and there's also lots of things you can do outside the city. There are areas around the city, mainly desert, where you can go duning, you can go hot air ballooning, there's desert tours, you can learn about like the culture and people who still live out there. Within the city, you can go, there's a very large nightlife there. There are lots of malls that you can visit. There's the Burj Khalifa, which Kevin covered, and there's also All Dubai. The Dubai Museum covers history of Dubai and like how Dubai started and up to current day. So there's lots to do. Where to go? This is a geographical guide. Basically, with the hotel costs that I estimated, you'd stay in this area, here, and you can visit the Jumeirahs. As you can see, there's Dubai Land, which has lots of different stores and little establishments you guys can visit. And here at Jebel Ali is where there's the port, and it's also a beach that you can visit. And you can see the Palm Islands, and you can see the Palm Islands over here with the world, Palm Dira, and Dubai City is kind of, you take the main road, Sheikh Zayed Road down here to like Dubai, downtown Dubai, and over down like south is Sharjah and Oman, and that's where you can go duning, you can go camping, and lots of different activities there. Roughly, in traveling, an airplane is typically between $1,000 to $2,000. Exchange rate is $3.67 dirhams to $1, which makes it fairly cheap. It also makes the funtivities moderately priced. A hotel cost a week in this Radisson hotel that I looked at would be $1,400, which was pretty good, unless you wanted to stay in like a luxurious hotel, and then those costs like start going into the tens of thousands of dollars. But I'm sure if you're there, like your company will pay for it. There's different ways around that. And cost of activities, like I said, are pretty moderate. Like going duning and like that tour can be under $500. Going to Wild Wadi, which is like a water park, would be about $50 per person. And if you compare it to like Disneyland, a lot of the different parks and activities you can do are pretty much along the same lines. So now to conclude, I covered tourism. Mohammed covered the general culture of Dubai. Brennan covered the location and benefits of being located in Dubai. Jasmine covered taxes, regulations, and laws, anything you need to know about living in a different country than what you're used to. Kevin covered the infrastructure and construction of Dubai, where it started, where we are now, and we covered the Burj Dubai. And Edward covered infrastructure like logistics and trade and events and why people go there in the first place. We recommend doing business here or moving here because Dubai is a thriving city. It's very family friendly, and from personal experience, it's a great city to have grown up in. And it just really, because it's so diverse, you get a really open-minded perspective on a lot of things. It's a fantastic opportunity for businesses and to be investing in businesses because it's like such a huge port for businesses and trade and all that. So you get to spend a lot of time around a lot of different people from all over the world. And now to conclude, we'll take any questions, and thank you for your time.